Welcome to Samo Highlights, a program where we talk about the influential events and groups happening on the Santa Monica High campus. I'm Jalen Morales.
And I'm Jackson Sills. Coming up, we talk with Samo High's lacrosse team, Human Rights Watch, Mr. Viking, Team Marine, and Orchestra. Stay tuned. Samo's lacrosse team, only recently formed, has unfortunately had a great season.
That's right, we have some phenomenal players out there. And here today we have the pleasure of being with Samo's very own lacrosse players and captain, Jack Dove and Ian Ferrara. Thank you guys for joining us.
How you doing?
Hi. So
what kind of sport is lacrosse?
Lacrosse is a sport basically invented by Native Americans a long time ago. It's a pretty fast-paced game. It's kind of a combination between basketball, hockey, and soccer, and it's really developing in the United States, and it's becoming more of a worldwide sport now.
that sounds fun. Let's check it out. That was impressive. Our lacrosse players sure are skilled.
I couldn't agree more. The sport looks really interesting.
As team captain, Ian, what's your favorite part about lacrosse?
My favorite part about lacrosse is just playing with my team and having a really fun time during the game, especially when we're winning. And that's about it, too, really.
How does a team prepare for a match? Do you guys do anything special for good luck?
Well, first we all meet in the locker room, and then our coach will basically give a pep talk and just give out the layout of the game and talk about who's starting and what offense we're going to be running. And then usually we would go out onto the field in a line together and then start our warm-ups with line drills and 4-on-3 offense. And then we'd usually go back into the locker room and have kind of like a pump-up time. And then we'd go back out and then have a huddle, and then we just start the game.
And we ball out.
So as the season is over, do you and your team have any plans or goals for the next season?
Well, I guess I'll answer this one. We had a sketchy season because we're such a young team. We had about 8 of our starters are freshmen and sophomore. So the future of the program is definitely brighter than this year, which was already so amazing. So I guess the next goal is to win league and go CIF and try to make a dent in CIF, maybe win it eventually.
Sounds really awesome. Thank you so much for joining us, Jack and Ian. Good luck.
Thanks.
After the break, we'll be right back with Human Rights Watch Club.
Hey, Mom. Yes, I'm home. Saved you some dinner. Plan now for a major earthquake. Contact the Santa Monica Office of Emergency Management. Don't be caught in the dark.
Human Rights Watch recently showed a film about a group of women who came together in Rwanda, Africa, to make an ice cream shop where members of separate warring tribes could be at peace.
Here today, we have Claire Goldberg and Rara Gumbel joining us from the Human Rights Watch organization. Welcome.
Thank you. Thanks. Right. How would you describe your experiences in the club? And do you think it was rewarding for you too?
Well, I started off in the club 4 years ago when I was a freshman, and it's definitely been such a rewarding 4 years for me. I've gotten to work on cases with the California education system. I've gotten to work on the right to education for students in Africa, and most recently I got to work on spreading awareness about children's rights.
Yeah, so I mean, I've only been in the club for 2 years because I'm a sophomore, but it's been a really rewarding experience. You get to meet a lot of different people who've done great work. I got to meet a guy who escaped from a North Korean prison camp, which was an incredible experience. And even just on Tuesday, both of us met a Holocaust survivor who was just incredible to hear speak. So it's been a really rewarding and enlightening experience.
Wow, that's really cool, actually. What other sorts of projects do you guys work on at Human Rights Watch?
Well, most recently we've worked on a project called the Children's Rights Camp, which has worked to educate students specifically at Samo High for us, but throughout schools in the LA area on the Convention on the Rights of the Child, which is a UN convention that protects children's rights.
Let's take a look at this event that Human Rights Watch administered.
You don't care about anything because the most important thing, this is life, has been killed.
We now have a panel discussion with Amy Carnes, who is the Associate Director of Education at the Shoah Foundation.
Hi everyone. Does everyone still need a minute? You're still writing. I see a lot of writing. I'm going to wait. So as Claire said, my name is Dr. Amy Carnes. I work at USC at the Shoah Foundation. The USC Shoah Foundation was founded in 1994. We also have programs all over the world in many countries, including Rwanda, where we use testimonies in classrooms to teach about the history of genocide and genocide prevention. Other things that the Shoah Foundation does at USC is myself and some colleagues designed a class called it's a Problems Without Passports class, where students at USC learn about Rwanda by going there for a couple of weeks in the summer. As part of that class, I've taken, for the last 2 years, I've taken undergraduates from USC to Rwanda. The class is taking them there to see what has happened since 1994.
Wow, your work was very moving.
Yeah, I'd say it definitely holds a lot of importance.
How did you two get involved in the club?
Well, actually, fun story, her brother, Max, when I was in 8th grade, told me that I had to join this club because it was not exactly the funnest thing he had ever done, but it was the most inspirational work that he had ever done. So that's how.
I actually joined through my brother as well. So he was a senior last year and I was a freshman, and he had me join, and I was the only freshman in the club, and it's just, I basically through the club I've really gotten into human rights and international relations and stuff like that, and so yeah, it's been a really great experience.
How did Human Rights Watch get involved in Rwanda?
Well, we work with a parent organization that is international, and so they've been working on the Rwandan genocide since it happened. And so last year we had a screening by the Human Rights Watch Film Club that showed this movie called Sweet Dreams. And I was a part of it. Were you there?
I was there for the beginning.
She was there for
I
the
had
beginning.
the world history homework.
And it was really touching for me because all of these documentaries that I had seen before were so serious and were so sad, and this one was really enlightening, and we learned about this group of women who started an ice cream shop. So I think that's initially how we started getting involved this year as a club, and I think that it was kind of like a mutual decision for us.
It's mostly something is that a big thing we stress in our club and just in the parent organization in general is that we have to learn about genocide in order to learn from it. And so, especially since we learn about Rwanda in freshman seminar, this is kind of just adding another dimension to that learning and making sure we really understand that even though these horrible things happen, there can be healing and we can move on from this and we can learn from this in order to prevent it happening again. So
It's true. How should students interested in getting involved with the Human Rights Watch at SAMO go about joining the club?
Well, you can just come to the club. That's the easiest way. We meet on Mondays in Miss Laurie's room, which is L103. We're actually having a potluck the week after next, so there will be free food to everyone who is watching. And I mean, just, come to our meetings. We're one of those clubs that really actually does stuff. Like, we don't just sit around and talk about pizza or something like that. We actually do things. Come to our club. We'll kind of get you into the fold of things, and then just you do the work with us. And it's not tons of an after-school commitment. It's really just lunch once a week, and then if you become a leader, you go a little bit more often to different leadership meetings or the fundraising dinner, stuff like that. But it's just not a huge commitment, but a huge impact. Right. So.
Yeah, the Human Rights Watch looks truly inspiring. I kind of want to join myself. Thank you, Claire, and thank you, Rara, for speaking to us tonight.
Yeah,
Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Coming up, we talk with Mr. Viking from our school's male senior talent show. Stay tuned.
At the Boys and Girls Club of Santa Monica, we build long-lasting relationships with our kids.
Love. Friendships.
Support. Trust.
Learning.
I know. Fun.
All that and a lot more.
We're not just a club. We're family.
Great futures start here.
Discover 30 years of opera in Santa Monica. Discover the Verdi Chorus.
Here at SAMO, our male students have the opportunity to compete in our very own talent show, Mr. Viking, where the winner is awarded with some awesome prizes: 2 free prom tickets, a grad night ticket, a yearbook, and amusement park tickets.
Today we have the pleasure of talking to the very first Mr. Viking, Martin Liu, and Brian Matizovsky, the president of ASB. Welcome.
Thank you.
What did you think of the other performers of Mr. Viking?
Well, there was some great competition, a lot of singers, dancers, but I mean, we all knew I was going to win. So.
So, Brian, what motivated ASB to come up with this competition?
So this year we were gifted with a new administrator, Mr. Medrano. At his old high school, this is something that they used to do on an annual basis, a sort of male pageant parody. And so he came to SAMOHI bringing this idea with him. And we thought that it would be a great fundraiser. Everyone in ASB really liked the idea, and we decided to pursue it.
And Martin, what motivated you to participate in Mr. Viking?
I thought that it would be interesting to end senior year with something great, you know? So, you know, Mr. Viking did that for me.
What was it like competing against your classmates?
It was actually a lot of fun. We were pretty supportive of each other. So, yeah.
Now let's talk about the big question behind this new event. How sure is ASB that it will stick around next year and so on?
Overall, we got a very positive response for this event. I feel like a lot of people enjoyed it. this year we didn't get the biggest turnout that we would have hoped for, but now that people know more about the event and have heard the great things about it, we hope that more will come for next year's. The singular thing that people have given us feedback for is that they would want a Mrs. Viking pageant, which, next year's ASB can totally put into the works and make happen if they wish to do so. Yeah. But I think Mr. Viking is here to stay.
Besides winning the competition, what was your favorite part of the event?
I think that really performing in front of such a big audience was a lot of fun, and I have to say that it was a great time overall.
Well, let's see how the talent show went this year.
Hi, I'm your other host. Tonight we have 19 boys competing for the first ever Mr. Viking 2015 title. New Williams. Which means our Mr. Viking 2015 is
Team Marine is a group on campus that strives to spread more awareness about our environment, especially our beaches and sea life.
Here today, we have the pleasure of speaking with Kimberly Fuentes and Zoe Parcells, who are dedicated members of Samuel High's Team Marine Club. Welcome.
Hi.
Hi. So how did you two get involved in Team Marine?
Well, I started at the beginning of my junior year when I was enrolled in Mr. K's marine biology class, and he's actually the mentor for Team Marine, so he always did like advertisement like, hey, join Team Marine. And I remember when he did a presentation with other Team Marine members, I was just really engaged, and they're like such an activist group, so many protests, marches, they go to Sacramento. It just seemed like so much fun, and I'm really passionate about the environment, so I thought I'd give it a go.
Oh, well, I actually started in Team Marine last year when I was a freshman. My mom had seen an article in the Santa Monica Mirror about them, And she was like, "Oh, Zoe, look at this. Like at your high school, people are doing really cool stuff." And I was like, "Whoa, I want to be part of that." So I came to lunch meeting, and it went from there.
I'm sure all the club members have to do a lot of work, but what does the work usually entail for each member?
I mean, it's completely different depending on what we're doing, but right now, since we're doing the science fair, it's just been so much inputting of data and just doing more research, going out to Colorado and picking up cigarettes or inputting the research in Excel, making graphs on Google Earth. It's just hours of hard work, but in the end, it's definitely worth it.
Sounds pretty tedious.
Yeah, it's very tedious.
We've heard you recently won at the Los Angeles County Science and Engineering Fair.
Yes.
Can you tell us more about that?
Zoe, go ahead.
Well, we did a project looking at 6 of Santa Monica's main urban streets, and we collected cigarettes on both sides of the street from 2 to 6 blocks.
Yeah, or depending.
Depending on the street, whether or not it was Colorado or Santa Monica or Broadway. And we did this for a whole year. And so this involved a lot of people, but me, Martin, and Kim were the 3 people chosen as presenters.
We actually collected 40,699 cigarettes.
Wow.
So yeah, I mean, it's a really big deal, and we really went into just like the dangers of like littering. Like the cigarette butts, they're made of like a certain fiber, a plastic fiber that actually, when it goes into the ocean, it doesn't biodegrade, and toxic chemicals actually attach onto that plastic fiber. So when the animals actually ingest it, like accidentally, of course, they actually go inside of the animal and they desorb into the animal, and then it just bioaccumulates up the food chain till it gets to us.
And the fact that it's just not a pleasant thing to be seeing cigarette butts when you're on the beach or even just on the street. It smells nasty, it looks nasty.
It's terrible.
That sounds like a really enriching experience.
Yeah.
Are there any upcoming projects or campaigns that Team Marine is working on right now?
Our anti-cigarette smoking campaign, actually it's pairing along with with the science fair win. We're actually planning to go to City Council, not set up a meeting, but go to one of their meetings and ask them, we'll show them our research, bring all of those cigarette canisters into City Hall and say, this is what we found. It's disgusting. We don't want it in our city. It's polluting and it's bad for our beach community. Please ban cigarette smoking in the city of Santa Monica in public spaces.
Wow.
Yeah.
That seems really busy.
Yeah.
Where could people go if they're interested in being in this club?
S107. Go directly to S107 Fridays at lunch or Monday through Friday after school.
We'll be there
all the time. I'll always be there at lunch. Please catch me there. So yeah.
Yeah, thank you so much for coming and looking after our beaches, Kimberly and Zoe.
Thank you. Hope to see you all there.
We'll be right back with Samo High's orchestra.
Care packages give hope while you're away fighting battles. But what happens when battles follow you home? JVS Veterans First helps returning soldiers transition to civilian life with services such as peer support, career counseling, and job training.
JVS Veterans First can help. Own your honor.
Visit jvsla.org for more information.
The Santa Monica Museum of Art. Take a closer look.
With us are some of Samo High's talented orchestra members, Akira Nagao and David Lin. Welcome.
Hello. Hi. Do you two have any upcoming orchestra events that you guys are really excited about?
Well, in a few weeks we'll have our senior gala, which showcases a few of our senior musicians, encompassing, you got the winds, you got the strings, right? So some of them play with the orchestra, some of them don't. And then we present most of our senior awards, such as the Combrio Award or the Kenneth Liu Award. And we also, the chamber orchestra, we're having a tour to Vancouver in 2 weeks for a competition there.
Yeah, our senior gala is like the last chance for our seniors to make their final stand in like their 4-year career at the Samurai Orchestra. So it's a good thing.
I know I and probably lots of others definitely look forward to that. Do you have any ways of considering like other students who want to join and partake in orchestra? Do you have any advice in how to kind of encourage them to join?
I would definitely say join, because I know that when I was in orchestra, I made the best of my friends here like him. And I know that because of orchestra, I'm able to communicate better with others, play in a group, and I don't know, just make more friends. And I'll definitely continue it when I'm in college.
Think about a orchestra is that, the big orchestras like symphony and the Philharmonic, we got about 80 kids. And when you go on tour, you're basically with them, 24/7 for a couple of days, depending on what tour you go to. And you start to form a very tightly knit community. But the thing is that it's not all fun and games. You got to practice, but it all pays off. 4 years later, I definitely don't regret it. It's definitely one of the best experiences.
So out of all the things that you've done this year, your last senior year, what would you say is your most memorable moment?
You go first.
Definitely, what was it, 2 weeks ago? Our Pops concert?
I thought it was last week.
No, it was last week. Yeah. Last week, our Pops concert, where we did a John Williams type theme. And so Symphony did Star Wars. And we all dressed up as characters in Star Wars. And this guy dressed up as Darth Vader. Full-on mask, boots, cape.
Yeah. Is he the one who conducted?
Oh no, we had a real Darth Vader come in for that one.
Yeah.
But I was the cheap version of it. Yeah, but yeah, the Pops concert is definitely one of the most interesting events, in any year. We usually just play a lot of movie music. It's very different from normal classical music that's associated with our orchestra program. And it's a way for us to play modern pieces and to show our interest in things besides classical. Yeah.
Thank you so much for accompanying us, Akira and David. It means a
problem.
lot to SAMOHILIGHTS.
It's been an interesting night. It's so good to see so many different programs and clubs at our school.
I agree. It's great that so many organizations appeal to the variety of students' interests. Thank you for tuning in tonight. I'm Jackson Sills.
And I'm Jalen Morales. We hope to see you next week with another episode of SAMOHILIGHTS. Good night.
Riding a bicycle can seem like child's play.
But only if you're playing indoors.
Riding in the real street has real consequences.
Play it safe. Ride by the rules. Cars and bikes need to play together.
Hey, slow down!
Right next to the library on 7th Street is the Santa Monica History Museum, where history comes to life for the entire family. Enjoy the exhibits, main gallery, the photo archive, research gallery, and much more. Come visit the Santa Monica History Museum, keeping history alive.